What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I'm Antoine.
And I am still James.
And we got a epic podcast ready for y'all today. We are doing some, we are keeping up with our TV show reviews. And you forgot to turn that off, the sound. Yeah. Anyway, we keeping up with our TV shows reviews. And we are doing a movie review today, Tremors, Shriek Island. Wasn't a good one. And it was not an easy watch. But we're doing it for y'all. We watch it so y'all don't have to. But before we do that, we got an intro. All right, we back. Like I said, we are keeping up with our TV show reviews, and the first show we doing today is Fargo. We do it Fargo season 4, episode 5. We already did our little. This distracted me. We already did our review for last week's show, and it's like we already said, this was a damn good show. Yeah. I love this show, and this was a damn good episode. As you see, I got a picture of Dr. Sennett up there, and I'm gonna tell you why later. He played a big role in this episode, and it's something that I wasn't happy with, but I knew something was gonna be coming sooner or later, so it's like one of them, you got to deal with it. Because it's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, especially a show like this, right?
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to jump into the episode, man. And as you know, the last episode, we got the black gang and the Italian gang. They not at war yet. But we know this is a real uneasy alliance, and it's a matter of time before this war about to kick off. So, in the last episode, Josto told
Loy.
No.
Oh, you talking about when he was talking to?
He told Otis to round up the black gang, put some pressure on them.
Yeah.
So basically, Giatano. What's his name?
Gaetano.
I call him Giatano. His brother, the bigger guy, but that's his younger brother, right?
Yes.
And he and so he kept he wanted to make moves, and he was making moves, getting ready to start war, and this is kind of started a feud between them. So Josto was like, I'm gonna handle it my way. So his way was, when this show kind of started off, Josto pretty much had all the Lloyd gang locked up, like legally. It was kind of like he bust all their operations and had the law come down on them. Yeah. So that was like his way of doing it. And then he was talking to Giatano. What's his name? Giatano. He was talking to Giatano like, this is how you do it, and he really couldn't say nothing. Because it's like, he basically, and his plan was, if you ain't got nobody to go to war with, then you should go back home.
Right.
And I don't know if that's going to work out for him. You know what I'm saying? His strategy. I'm not mad at his strategy, but the thing is, his brother's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
That's what what his plans is.
But also, from the way I read it, his brother doesn't care whether his way works or not. He wants a war.
Right.
One, he just got out of a war. He wasn't done fighting. Mm-hmm. So there's that. You already got to contend with that. And then you drop him into a new place with a clear enemy. Mm-hmm. All he wants is to go to war. So you're not going to convince him, hey, look, war's not good for the family. No. What I do is good for the family, and what I do is war. So war is good for the family.
Right. Well, see, and then Rabbi Mendelkin said to him, like, would you go back home? Ain't nothing there.
Right.
It's all money here. He want to stay here and he want to take over. So he's going to make his move. So if you don't make your move, it's going to be a wrap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the war, the feud between them is going to hit that boiling point. Now we figuring this is good for the Lloyd gang, the Cannon gang, but it's things that that's going to happen that's not good for them. So okay, now as I was saying that Lloyd had Josto told Otis, which the cop with the OCD, to bust all his operations or whatever. So in the middle of that, Lloyd kind of was taunting Otis about his condition, but he gave us backstory on the reason why he's OCD or whatever. How'd you like how that story came out, or just the story of he was like a minesweeper in the military in World War II?
Yeah.
And this is why he's so jumpy,
I mean, it's one. It does explain, why he works the way he does, why he has the tics he does.
Right.
I do feel a little weird about the way we get that being from Loy.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure why Loy knows about it.
Right. I'm guessing that somebody like Dr. Senator made sure he had information on everybody he was dealing with.
Right.
And, he kind of knew a little too much detail
Yeah.
about his what happened. Instead of he didn't vaguely say it, he said in detail exactly how the incident happened in World War II or whatever.
Like, I would have rather we got that exposition from someone a little closer to Otis, like who's supposed to have some information on him, or to get that info dump in like a less charged situation.
Yeah.
Because, like, it feels like the one thing you don't do when somebody's got a gun on you, especially a jumpy dude, is to start saying, boom! Every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But,
which I did enjoy that taunt on him because every time he said boom, he kept jumping.
Yeah. Like, even the last one, he's like, boom.
Yeah.
And he's so...
Right, yeah. He still jumped even when he stopped getting loud. It was funny. But basically, he was a minesweeper in World War II, and an incident happened where people died. And I guess that's the reason why, I guess before he opened the door, he has to check it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's exactly what he's doing, but that's have something to do with his little
if nothing else,
bad
it's probably the I suppose the inciting incident behind that manifestation of his nervous disorder.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm sure that's where the order come from, to saying that whole knocking 10 times or whatever before you open the door. It's probably, I'm guessing that's how he used to check for mines or something like that. So it's like since he can't stop doing it now, because of the incident or whatever. So that was interesting. I like that. I like that dynamic because I was already waiting to find out why he had those tics or whatever, and the story kind of makes sense.
Right.
But like you said though, coming from Loey, it's like, how do you know this and how do you know it in such detail?
Exactly.
Because later on in the episode he explained it, and it was almost like, Loey knows the exact story that he was sitting down and looking up in the clouds or whatever when he was supposed to be checking mines. Like, how do you know that? If you did like a read a file, you probably just said, "Oh, you didn't do your job." Yeah. That's all you know. You don't know exactly what he was doing.
That's all you would know. You wouldn't like. One day he just lays down in the grass. You wouldn't know all that.
Yeah, I know. So I mean, I ain't gonna say that's sloppy writing, but it's like because
it's a little too convenient,
right? But so anyway, we know that we know Otis' history now. Why is those tics or whatever? So at this point, the Josto made his move on Lloyd's gang, and they kind of like they're in the impasse or whatever. So we move on to after Reader. So that storyline where we last saw her, she found a lot of Olietta poison and trophies. She figured it out what she is. She figured it out that she's a serial killer and been killing patients. Which I'm like, I know she figured it out, but how does she really know exactly what she's up to?
Yeah,
I mean, she's smart though. That they made sure that you know she's smart.
uncommonly so too.
Yeah, well, see, she's a little too smart for her own good, in my opinion. Because she come across as one of them people that's smart, but she feel like it's almost like a little smug smartness. Like, I'm the smartest person in the room. I know more than you, whatever, But she's young, but her.
Well, like I got that. I got that feeling from her first voiceover.
Yeah.
When she's talking about, my problem was not that I was disruptive. My problem was, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you one of them.
Right.
I should know I was one. But like, even when she ends up going against one of our other characters later on, and she tries to come back at him with that civilized. Well, did you know that Africa is the birthplace of civilization? And then he came back and was like, oh, please, no, sir, please.
Right.
Like it's just like when folks come at you with that energy, it's like you just want someone to back them up off they high horse a little bit,
Yeah, and we got so basically, like I said, she wanted to stop Olieta. So what she basically decided to do was like she wanted to see if she should, so she was kind of unsure. So she talked to her dad. And he's an idiot. We established that.
Right.
What's his name?
I don't remember.
Mr. Smutney.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Mr. Smutney.
Knowing his name is Smutney. I can't remember his first name, but knowing his name is Smutney, I already know that he's
first
not.
name is so not important.
And I don't want to disrespect nobody that name is Smutney, but that just sounds like a dude that just Mr. Smutney.
Well, this episode gives him the only smart line he had for the whole show, though.
What's that?
Maybe this Olieta isn't someone you should be spending time around.
Right. He told her, I think she pours in that pie, whatever.
And he said it's so casual.
I know, and it's like, why didn't you going over there whooping her ass?
You could have done anything. You could have gone over there and given her the business. You could have called the cops on her. And I was like, yeah, I think that lady poisoned our pie. That's crazy, isn't it?
Right.
Anyways, you have a good night, sweetheart.
So she don't know exactly what she want to do. She don't know if she want to, tell on Olieta or whatever. So she go talk to her aunt about it. Why do you need to talk to her? I don't know. I guess she don't know that how bad her aunt is.
I mean, because that's her current role model, I guess.
Okay, yeah. And somebody had came up with something like maybe she's want to go down that path of being, and we could talk about what's their names, Zamaria and Swanee.
Zamar and
Swanee, which these are the two. This is I don't know. I can't remember. I just call it Ethelrita aunt. I can't remember the mother name.
Yeah, me neither.
The mother's sister. So these were the two girls that broke out of jail, the two lesbians, and she went, pretty much asked her, if somebody do something wrong, what should I do? Why would you ask another criminal this? And she said nothing, because we outlaws, and we ain't criminals, we outlaws, and they gave this whole speech on how they live outside the law and all that. It's like, okay. Sound to me like you just trying to make excuse to do what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, that's what's going on with them, and so she kind of make up her mind. And actually, I don't even know what Ethelrita came out of that. Like, was she, what I'm saying? I don't know what she's gonna do. Okay. But I think that conversation made her think that she's gonna take
matters into her own hands.
In her own hands.
Yeah.
She's not just gonna call the cops or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it came out of that.
It'll turn out great.
Right. So, like I told you, the Cannon gang got busted or whatever. So they end up grabbing his son too. So this gave his wife got involved, and this was when he gets home, his wife's like, I gotta go get my son, and he told him, no, it's handled or whatever. And this was this big confrontation with his wife about, how you gonna let this happen? What, and I'm like, I was thinking like, now I understand her being mad her son got arrested, but the fact that how you act like you don't know your husband is I guess he's a crime boss.
Yeah.
So he's a crime boss. He's not just a petty crook. He's the boss of all the
Right.
crime of the black people in Kansas City.
At the very least, the lion's share of it.
Right, in Kansas City, organized crime in Kansas City, or how you like not know that it's going to be consequences or whatever. It's just funny how it's just, they want to complain, but it's like you got to know this is going to happen sooner or later,
Because it's like you told her, like you like that fancy coat you wear.
Yeah,
you
so
like
he
the
gave her a
house we
speech.
live in. Because this is where that come from. So if you got a problem with it, then you gotta walk away from it. Like, and I think so often. Can I get a But so often, like in these kinds of narratives, you have like the oblivious spouse who isn't aware that they're with a crime boss.
Yeah, but see, I don't buy that. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't like that you thought he was a businessman and he came home and lied to you every day and you thought he was just out there working or something. No, he's a crime boss.
Exactly.
And this can happen. So, I know you want to put your foot down because he didn't gave away his son to whatever transaction they had or whatever. So you already know, so stop acting brand new.
Like also, this is the damn 50s. What other black family do you know that live like you do?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It's like no one else on your street. Like, I doubt anyone else on their street is black. I'm just gonna say that.
I mean, well, they probably was just the best house in the black neighborhood.
Either way, I'm just saying, it's like, what other black folks do they know live like all the other black folks they know don't dress like they do.
Right.
It's like, that you're at a place that black people in general don't get in this time period. You had to ask yourself some questions at some point. So don't be coming at him like, this is too dangerous for our family. This is what built our family.
And you know what? I can give her saying, hey, this is getting out of hand, let's get out or something. It wasn't really like that. It was more like,
you ain't doing your job.
How you let this happen and all this. Like, it's going to happen. Just be more careful. Or if you don't like it, leave. Like, leave him or whatever. Whatever. Maybe she ain't got no choice, but I just don't like hearing all the complaints if you already know what this is.
Well, especially if you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. So
if it's an ultimatum, like, look, if this is gonna keep happening around my kids, me and my kids are gone.
Right. So
that's something she could come with, but it's just like, how could you let this happen? Do you not see the business I'm in? This is what happens.
Yeah. So he gave her this speech. That was like one of his big moments. I remember saying on the trailer, this is where you ride the roller coaster till it stops or something like that. I don't remember what she said exactly. But how'd you think about his acting on that?
I mean, it's so weird because like he's a good actor.
It wasn't bad.
He's a good actor. He did his job in that scene. It's still Chris Rock.
I know that's the hard part, to take him serious as a gangster. Like that character would have served better if it was like somebody like Mahershala Ali or something. But it's fine. Whatever. It is what it is. I don't want to linger on that scene.
Props to him for like not letting this become a Chris Rock character though.
Right? Yeah.
Like he's stayed 100% on this character, and it would be so easy for him to just default to being loud and obnoxious.
So as we said, the black gang has been locked up. So Josto had this happen, and it was kind of like more like a warning. So he come to talk to the little black gang while they locked up, and he tell them pretty much the truth.
Yeah.
Everybody like a gangster story. They like to see somebody take something, but only if they look like me. When they see you as a gangster, they just see a criminal. They see me take something. He said, I can run for president. I can take what I want, and I can still run for president. And when you take what you want, they just see a criminal.
Yeah.
Which is true. But what I did like, the black gang was looking like, we already know that.
Yeah. Like, this ain't news. This ain't news to us. We grew up on this same story you did. We know.
Yeah.
We already know.
Which, he basically said, he told him to give up. Now, is he saying give up as in
Get gone.
give up everything or just stop trying to feud? Now I wasn't
So,
clear on that. Just me
I
didn't
think
really-
he means give up on the feud and know your place.
right.
You know, you under us. Don't try to match us. Don't try to come up on us. You know your place, so stay there. But like one of the dudes in jail told him, you know, it's like
Ain't no
ain't no going
no.
back.
Well, he told that to Rabbi Milligan. But see, this is I'm thinking like none of this would even happen if Giatano did not call for hit on Lloyd's son. That started
True.
everything,
True.
which is what he wanted anyway.
Yeah.
So and then that brings Calamino. Is that how you say his name?
Calamita.
Calamita was basically he was trying to entice Giatani to start the war.
Yeah.
Which it didn't take too much to push him to that point because he was already feeling that.
Yeah.
You know,
Calamita like was already feeling a kind of way because they already made him out like a punk. So,
yeah, I know. Yeah, right. So he already mad for their little scar on his face
Yeah.
they gave him or whatever. So excuse me. So Giatani and Calamita was kind of talking strategy a little bit, and this scene is funny. So they got him doing this little opera. I guess it's some operas playing in the background. He's
Yeah.
doing a little dance or whatnot. Giatani, and I'm looking like I was telling you. Okay, they don't have headphones. Maybe he was listening to it in the car and he still was into it. And you gotta wonder about this series. It's almost like a straight up gangster series, but they'll jump to some slapstick.
Yeah.
You know, where they done it earlier with the fort joke and all that. It's like, why they do that with the comedy?
I think that's a style thing at this point. It's not even like it's necessary for the story, or if they even really just want to do it. I think it's like this is how we tell stories, so they had to slip that slapstick in there. And I think also it's supposed to help like knock you back down from tense moments. So like you go through this really tense standoff, you know there's some tense stuff coming forward, and then to beg you off of the tenseness, like so that was supposed to be a death scene, right? With the fart joke. They backed
Yeah.
you off of what looked like it was about to be a death scene, only to turn it into the setup for an actual death scene.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that.
So like it's
too.
a bit of subversion just to like fake. It's a feint before the knockout blow. You know.
Yeah. So they did the scene where they got him. It seems like they doing some slow motion walking, and Giatani doing this whole, orchestra to this opera that's playing in the background. It's just like a kind of a cool scene, I guess, or a
Yeah.
cliche scene that you would see in movies, in gangster movies or whatnot. Before something's gonna happen, and out of nowhere he's walking across this patch of ice and slipped and bust his ass. And it's like damn, when he's supposed to be having a cool moment right now, it's like they
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
That's how they jump to slapstick. But and the guy, it was some guy working at the restaurant. They just started cracking up. I started laughing. But he was laughing so hard, it made me stop laughing. And I'm like, it ain't that funny.
Like that was the thing. It's like, okay, it was a little funny when it happened, but it's like, okay, bro, that's it. It's done.
Well, and I'm thinking like, if anybody fall and like that, it's funny in the movie, but in
Yeah.
real life,
Oh,
if
yeah.
somebody's laughing so hard, like a knee slapping laughing,
Yeah.
I got a problem with that because that person could be hurt.
Yeah.
Now, even though this is a scumbag, he don't know that. He just
Right.
laugh.
Like, because in that moment, it's fine to laugh a little bit. Hey, buddy, you all right, man?
Or
but
tell somebody about it later than laugh. Why-
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
laughing
Nah,
at somebody
he-
after they
like,
could be
he's
hurt.
almost like doubled over laughing at this. It's like it got weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was cool. It's just the fact that you asking for an ass whooping.
Yeah, like any random dude off the street might say, "Oh, you think that's funny, dude? You think that's funny?"
Right. We talk about a gangster too.
Yeah.
So anyway, they kind of bring this little. They are talking shop. Now I don't know if he was planning on this or if there's something going on with this. I don't know if this was just a spur of the moment thing, I think it was because the way that Calamino, the way he responded, he didn't seem like he knew what the hell was going on, or he didn't know that this was going to happen.
Right.
Should I say what it is? Would that be kind of like spoiling? I guess.
Look,
we've been spoiling pretty much everything. So
because the long and short of it is Gaetano goes off and does some Gaetano stuff. If you've been watching the show, you know what Gaetano stuff is.
Well, actually,
now, so.
I'm gonna say we don't because we thought he was all talk. So
you did?
Well, I mean, why wouldn't have? Because he never actually did nothing until now.
I was certain it wasn't because like they.
And then, look, he got the eyes. He'd be talking and he'd be like, "Well, this is what we're gonna do."
I mean, because everyone made it out like
take him serious.
Everyone made it out like he made his bones in the old country doing some off the wall.
Yeah, but
stuff.
it was all talk. You know what I'm saying? I never seen him do nothing. He had a knife. He never used it.
I assumed he had earned the right to talk, like because everyone.
We don't know that though.
No,
we don't know that
because everyone let him go. Like no,
he's a big dude.
Like yeah,
and
but
he's the boss son.
Even the old heads let him go. Like that's what I'm
well,
saying.
When I mean,
like that kind of lifestyle. If the boss's son start talking and he ain't earned the right to talk, you can slap him upside the head and say, "Hey, you ain't earned the right yet."
All right, well, whatever. I just felt like he ain't really did nothing yet, but he did do something this time, and it was some cold stuff. And I was thinking like, did these people have anything to do with anything?
No.
And I was like, yeah, no, okay. Now you showed me that you're a cold-blooded killer, and you did some unnecessary stuff. So I mean, I guess that was good to set up the next scene where it made me feel uneasy of what this guy gonna do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we know he's capable of just doing something that was unpredictable, very unpredictable. So I'm gonna come back to that, but I'm gonna say before I get to that, just talk about when Lloyd, when we left off at the last episode,
right,
where Lloyd found out that the money was the money that got stolen from him. So you knew he was already gonna go back to the Smutnies, but we don't know exactly how he was going to do it. You know, he did say early on in the scene, we're gonna take the funeral home, and they're gonna give us up the women that stole the money, or we gonna kill them. Which I thought he was gonna send some people over. I guess he was gonna do that, but since they all got pinched, he had to do it. So he went to them.
So like I wasn't sure how that was gonna go, because at least like the initial deal, he was present for it, right? Because we seen in the little flashback or whatever that Ethelrita was like came downstairs and saw him in the kitchen or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was a little surprised, even with the way things had gone, that he actually went himself rather than try to find somebody to do it.
But as we said, everybody was pretty much locked up.
Or to wait until he got his people out, because that would have been priority.
Right. I mean, yeah, so all the soldiers locked up, so he took care of himself. And so now we get another scene where Chris Rock get to be a gangster. So I like the scene. I really like the scene. So he go talk to the Smutnies, and then he talked to, of course, he basically, and he brings the son.
Zero.
Oh, so that's his name?
Yeah, Zero is short for his full first name, and I don't remember.
Right, it was
Zeromini or something like that.
Yeah. So he brings him with him, and then he's basically telling them, first off, y'all try to pay me back with my own money. I could just kill y'all right now. And, they kind of like plead with him, like, look, we can make this right. I didn't know. I didn't know my ass. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted to hear that. And he kind of like, he threatened them, basically saying, look, your funeral home belongs to me now. And if y'all got something to say with it, he's like basically saying, look, I'm trying my best not to just paint this wall red with y'all blood right now.
Like he told himself, look, this is not the day, okay? It would be so easy, he wants, and that's the thing that I really like about the scene is you can tell he wants an excuse to go off on somebody.
Yeah. I mean, he had to
back himself off.
He had to put the pressure on them. Like, he couldn't come and talk nice. If they did, they probably wouldn't have gave up you know, the sisters. I
'Cause,
mean,
like
yeah, her
she,
sister.
she tried to give him, look, Mr. Cannon, please, not, don't please me. Please,
ain't time.
We beyond please.
And I do like though where he was like, she's like, "Do your son want?
Wants
Do
a
this
kid."
look like my son?"
The thing I love about it is Mr. Smutney was actually like, well, you know.
Well, because I guess he was thinking, well, we got like a daughter that's mixed or whatever, so that could be. Shut up.
And that the kid, like, this situation getting like more and more tense. He just looking at that kid like,
Yeah. But no, I do like, and then he basically acknowledged that I traded my youngest son for power. That's why I got this boy here. You know what I'm saying?
He even said straight up, it's like, now look, I traded my son for this kid for power. Now my wife, she's distraught. She can't get a hold of herself. Me, I sleep like a baby.
Now this is something he telling her to kind of scare her,
Yeah.
but I think he don't sleep like a
Oh
baby.
no. Like, because this position, this, you know, the boss of the Cannon Syndicate, this is a character for him, and he's trying his damnedest to hold character, and that's part of Dr. Senator's whole job, is to advise him on how to play this character, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, he's just a man looking out for his family and his people. He's
Right.
he wasn't built to take this position. It's just where he is.
So so yeah, that was a good scene. And then after he went off on him or whatever, he's like, "Now get the kid a piece of cake," because he saw him eyeballing that cake. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I want some of that. So anyway, let's move on. So pretty much the last scene, Dr. Senator goes into the restaurant. I guess this is usually where they have a sit down with the how you say that?
The conciliary.
Consigliere is basically, I guess, the spokesman for the gang or whatever. I know I heard that before on mafia movies.
I mean,
I really
they're basically, you know, a consul. You know,
Right.
that's the guy that the boss, you know, goes to for advice when he needs to know how to handle
That's
a
the
situation.
rules. Kind of like how they do this whole organized crime thing.
And also like when you need to have, you know, when you need to talk to, you know, another gang, your consigliere and theirs, they're the ones that have to sit down. Look, this is what we're trying to get. What are y'all trying to get? Is there any way to meet? Because like if the bosses come
Right,
out,
that's the whole point of this little sit down. And it's supposed to be no guns fired, no, you know what I'm saying? This is a sit down, this is a rule that been put in place, and people follow this rule so they can't lose control.
right?
And this is Calamito really don't care, and like I said, Gitano,
Close enough.
what is it?
Gitano.
Gitano, pretty much wasn't. I think he wasn't there to do this, and then Calamito really convinced him to.
Well, like also, I'm trying to figure out if those two guys,
Because
any
the
kind
consigliere, how you say
yeah,
it?
conciliary,
Consigliere actually is out of town right
right?
now. And this Josto number 2. And I think this was a huge mistake to get rid of your number 2 when you got this guy here that's coming at you.
So part of Josto's problem is he did that to make a point to the number 2. It's like, look, you may have been my father's number 2 guy, but you ain't necessarily my number 2 guy. So
But-
you do what I tell you.
He was loyal to him.
He was.
So he would have not stepped out of line because of,
But Josto's spiraling. He don't know who he can trust.
I know.
So instead of keeping that dude close to him, he sent him off to prove his loyalty.
I guess.
But
it was
also
a bad move.
because but
But-
also because he needed someone to handle some stuff out of town that he could trust.
Yeah.
And he only really had
It just
the
ain't
one
the
guy.
time.
He really only had the one guy he could trust. It was
So-
him or the Irishman.
Right. So we're going to talk about what transpired in the very last scene.
Right.
So Dr. Senator pretty much he told
Calamita.
Calamita that basically Calamita do this little talk. I hate that skirt, dude. I swear, not just because what he did, it's just he's a scumbag through
Yes.
and through.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely. Well, you
and-
know, he's one of those archetypes in these kind of stories. Like he dresses real nice, he takes real good care of himself, But every time he opens his mouth, he reveals himself to just be like the lowest scumbag in the entire.
He's like a snake.
Yeah.
But anyway, he basically told, and I don't know if he was originally going to make this just a warning, and then this got out of hand.
Yeah.
Or was he already originally planning to do something?
It was just supposed to be a warning, but his ego at this point is so fragile that once Dr. Senator came back at him, he's like, well, which is it? Are we done talking? Because you keep talking. You know,
right. But
he couldn't handle it.
But see, I was looking like, I was just feeling like, maybe I guess they feel like you're not dealing with, he basically wanted to tell him, you're not dealing with the guys no more that cared about doing stuff right. Now you're dealing with some dudes that will just kill you if you step out of line. And, I guess that was his message. And, Dr. Senator basically, he didn't back down. And he told him, okay, well, I don't see, basically, he told him about y'all not giving respect. Respect is earned. And y'all just young man making a mess. And I'm about to clean it up one day. I did like that.
Yeah.
I just didn't like what transpired after was a very, Dr. Senator got killed. I'm going to just throw it out there. And it was very, I did not picture it like that. And I was very upset that it happened like the way it happened. I ain't going to say very upset. I just wanted, I knew the bodies was going to drop. I knew it was going to be some.
Of course, yeah.
Sooner or later, once the war start, people going to die. And I knew somebody had to go, but I was just mad that he went out like that, where Calamito just basically walked out and shot him.
I won't say I saw it coming. I didn't see it coming, but
They built it up like something was going to happen, though.
Like I knew something was going to happen. I was thinking they might subvert it now and pick it up later,
Yeah.
I will say I think they're trying to play up this role that Calamita and Gitano have of being like kind of loose cannons. I think is what that scene was about.
Yeah, so Calamito did he gunned down Dr. Senator, and he died, and I was mad about that damn driver. I was like, man, can't you get a shot off? What are you here for? He had a gun, he had a pistol that he dropped. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up, but that's how they ended the episode, man. And Dr. Senator died there on the street, just like you said. They played the Fargo theme music. I heard that was the first time they played it. As far as the show, maybe that was the first time they played it in this episode. I'm not sure. But as they was leading out, it faded to black with the Fargo theme music playing. And I'm looking like, man, it's wartime, but it's like I feel like damn Lloyd's Cannon gang. That was his brains right there. I don't see.
Well,
hopefully it. The way it looks like everybody gonna die. But
I think what they're leading up to is like once all the old heads are gone, and it's just the neophytes. A little too passionate.
I would just like to see. I would like to see him win out better. Like it was like a nice little shootout or whatever.
Right.
Whatever. Because he kind of knew that he was coming. So that to me made me say, damn. Since he knew he didn't catch him off guard, he should have had a chance.
Right.
But that ain't the way they did it. So
yeah.
So anyway, that was Fargo season 4, episode 5. Rest in peace, Dr. Senator. He was my favorite character on the damn show.
He was awesome, dude.
And
love that guy.
So we'll move on. We don't want to take too long on one review, so we'll move on. We got some other shows to do. We're going to do what was the other one? Oh, Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country, yeah.
I can remember where that down. Oh shit, that's not the right one. Excuse my language. Okay then.
Might want to start labeling.
Yeah.
this.
Okay, I know that. Thank you. I know that. Thank you. So that's good enough right there. Got Lovecraft Country. Got That's D. With the dog thing or whatever.
The what was it? The sugar.
Yeah. Why did they use that?
I mean, why not?
All right, let's talk about it. All right, so we talking about. Hold on a second.